everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a full face demonstration of how I achieved this makeup look right here using my most favorite, most reliable Holy Grail products from the drugstore. As a lot of you know on my channel, I like to mix things up. I tend to lean more towards high-end products that you can find at Sephora or at Nordstrom, but I also enjoy a good drugstore product. And in the course of my makeup wearing life, I have discovered some true gems, some products that I think are on par with my high end. I will reach for them sometimes over my more expensive products. I think they are excellent quality. And of course, being that they're drugstore, they're a little bit more affordable. Drugstore prices keep creeping up and up and up, but they are definitely more affordable in most cases than products from Sephora or Nordstrom or Beautylish or wherever you buy your higher end makeup. So today what I wanted to do was show you all the products that I love from the drugstore, the ones that never fail me, the ones that I know I can reach for, and they're always gonna work. They're always gonna look good. I'm always gonna be happy with the result. So I thought that instead of just telling you what they are, I would demonstrate them also on my face and show you how I achieved one of my favorite go-to makeup looks. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look and hearing about what my favorite products are from the drugstore, my most reliable, my holy grails, then please keep on watching. I'm starting with my brows today, and I'm going to be using the BH Studio Pro HD Brow Pencil in Blonde. And I start by underlining the brow and a little bit at the top and making little lines at the front. I have no brow hairs at all right here, so it's always challenging to get my brows to look natural. This is a really good dupe, I think, for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It's a very similar tip on it, and I find that it's a very similar texture as well. This is an excellent, excellent brow pencil. I can't remember how I discovered this. I think it was through a makeup artist on Instagram, and I'm just so happy with it. You really can't beat the price. Once I've finished filling in my brows, I like to set them with a fiber gel. And I've talked a lot about this product recently. It's the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. Since the applicator is a little bit bigger than I think it should be for applying to the brows, you do have to be careful with it. And I also like to wipe off the excess, kind of like a mascara, just wipe off any excess product that's on there. But I love how this really gives a nice lifted, fluffy brow effect. If you're like me and you just have really sparse brows, using a fiber volumizer is gonna help. Okay, so let's move on to carving out underneath the brow. And to do that, I'm using a synthetic concealer brush. This one I picked up at the drugstore for just a couple dollars. And I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair. And I put a little bit on the end of the brush, and then I go in and carve out the brow shape that I want. My brows go down at the ends a little bit, and I would prefer them to go out more towards my temples. So I use this technique to kind of angle the brow tail that way instead of down. And then I just take my finger and blend it out. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'm starting with my tried and true Milani eyeshadow primer. I've been using this for a long time. This is probably my second or third tube. It just works really well for my very oily lids. I'm one of those people that feels like I have to set my eyeshadow primer. It just helps me to blend the shadows better. I am using this Catrice Nude Illusion Loose Powder. I'm just lightly dusting over the eyeshadow primer. And the brush I'm using is the Delium Tools 787. Delium Tools is such a great brush line that is really affordable. You can buy them sometimes they're available at local beauty supply stores, but you can also find them on Amazon. I've bought quite a few on Amazon. I think this one is $12. So for my eyes, I'm using the Milani Pure Passion eyeshadow palette. So today I am going to be using a Morphe E28 And I'm going to go into these two right here. I'm going to be mixing. So I just dip my brush into both colors, tap off my excess, and I'm blending that into my crease. Just back and forth in a windshield wiper motion. And I'm taking this up just a little bit higher than my crease. So I have hooded lids, so it's harder to tell. But here is, if I look straight into the camera, I look straight into my mirror, that's how I can see where my natural crease is. So I often recommend that people with hooded eyes just look directly into the mirror and kind of push the brush in to where their crease would be, and then move the brush back and forth, and then raise your brows, put your chin up so you can really see where your crease is, and then blend a little bit higher than that. Now I'm going into this dark brown called Late Date, and I'm going to be applying that directly into my crease. So where I just placed those first two colors, but not quite as high. I'm not going to blend it just quite as high. And I am using this brush from Flower Beauty. It came in an eyeshadow palette. I personally think it's worth buying the palette just to get this brush. It works so well for getting right into that crease. So I am going in with the tip of my brush, always tapping off my excess. There's not a lot of fallout with this palette either, which is what I like. So I'm going to start again by raising my brows and then working this shade back and forth into my crease. Now I'm going back to that first brush that I used and blending everything together. All right, now I'm taking a little bit more of my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This time I'm using my middle finger to just add a little teeny bit to my fingertip. And then I'm going to pat that on the center of my lid, and then with a clean finger, blend it out. Because I'm going to be applying a shimmer shade to my lid, and I want it to look a lot more intense. To apply the shimmer shade, I'm using this smaller concealer brush, synthetic brush from, I think it's e.l.f. I think I paid maybe $2, or maybe it's just a no-name brand from Harmon Drugstore. So I'm going into this shade called Lust and Luminous. And I'm using a press and slide motion. Putting it right up to the fold and sliding it downward. And then I just take my finger to blend out any excess sparkle. And then I'm going back in with that Flower Beauty brush. I'm not adding any more product. I'm just adding a little bit more intensity to the outer corners and the crease with what is left on the brush. So my favorite drugstore liquid liner for the past year or so has been this Curvitude liner from Maybelline. I thought having that curve there might help to really get in this area, and it really does. It's also a really nice dark black color, and I really like the applicator, the tip of it. Everyone who watches my tutorials often knows how horrible I am at doing my wing liner on camera. And here's why. Because of my hooded lids, I need to take one finger and hold my eye taut and then use the other hand to draw. I'm going to do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so wing liner is on, and now I'm going to move to the face. Even though we have not completed the eyes, I'm going to move on for the moment. For my foundation, I'm going to be using a product that I cannot believe I don't talk about more on my channel. I am going to be using the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. I honestly think it's one of the best foundations for someone with oily skin, especially when it comes to the drugstore category. So when I was planning this video, it's the first foundation that came to my mind. It's the one that I think of, oh, what drugstore foundation do I really love? And I dug through my drawer and I found the medium shade, which is in old packaging. I didn't know it was in old packaging until I went to go buy a lighter color. So when I reached for it, I was really bummed that it was too dark for me. So I went to the store, noticed it had updated packaging, and I'm hoping that it is as good as the other one was. So I'm going to be using a Real Techniques Beauty Blender With this type of foundation, you really can just use your fingers, but I'm just out of habit. I'm using a beauty blender. And oh, this color I think is gonna be perfect. I don't know why more people don't talk about this product. I don't really hear people talking about it much on YouTube, do you? Then again, I'm so busy making YouTube videos, I don't often watch as many as I should. So this I think is an excellent everyday foundation for oily skin. It's not gonna give you flawless full coverage, but it gives you really natural looking coverage with oil control. And if you do need to spot conceal with something heavier, then you can go ahead and do that. Actually, I am going to use my fingers because I remember this having a little bit more coverage, and using your fingers will often get you that coverage. So yeah, I'm definitely getting more coverage using my fingers, and using your fingers also allows you to really work the product into the skin. The heat from your fingers will really help kind of mesh it all together. So moving on to concealer, once again, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Fair. I've used light in the past, but I like a little bit more of a bright under eye. So I've recently switched to using Fair. And you can use your finger to blend this in as well. I love my mini beauty blender. I realize the Beauty Blender Mini is not a drugstore product, but you can find drugstore dupes. I just think this concealer is really excellent. A while ago, I discovered that this Fit Me Shine Free Foundation Stick in a darker shade, this one is 355 Coconut, works amazingly well to contour. And I just apply it there. And I put a little bit, just a tiny bit down the sides of my nose. I'm gonna blend it out with my sponge. Because it's so creamy, it blends so easily. And I'm going to use my mini beauty blender again to blend out the nose contour. And then if you do happen to mess up like I did, the lines are a little bit uneven, just take your beauty blender, the one you used for foundation, go right down the center of the nose. This is why we have not powdered yet. Now I'm going to set my face with powder. Unfortunately, I don't have a favorite go-to drugstore loose powder, but I do have a favorite that is drugstore priced. You just have to order it online or find it at a local theater, makeup store, beauty supply store. I'm using the shade Cameo. A lot of people know the banana powder. That one is great for darker skin. I am going to take this is a Morphe brush from their holiday collection last year. I'm sure they're going to be putting out another one this year that has a beautiful crystals. Well, not crystals. What are these? Just sparkle. So I'm setting my under eyes, my forehead, my nose, just all the areas that I get really shiny. I'm going to tightline my upper and lower rims with this pencil from Allie, this eyeliner crayon contour in black. This stays really, really well on the waterline. The mascara I'm using is the Falsies Volume Express from Maybelline. Now I'm using the Delium Tools 773 brush, and I'm going to be applying to my lower lashes the same colors that we used on the top lid. So I'm going to go in with that medium brown shade, tap off the excess, and swipe that along my lower lashes. And then I'm also taking a little bit of that plummy brown and running that along the outer corners of my lower lash lines. Now for blush. My ride or die drugstore blush is Milani's Luminoso. I am taking a Delium Tools 960 blush brush and just packing that on my brush and smiling and just applying it to the apples of my cheek. With this blush, you don't even need highlighter. It just gives such a beautiful glow. I like to put a little bit across my nose where the sun would naturally hit. glow. Because I personally like a little extra glow, I am going to be using one of my favorite highlighters. This is the Rose Gold Muru Butter Highlighter from Physicians Formula. So I just use my finger. I love the feel of this. And just pop it on the tops of my cheekbones. It smells so good too. All right, now let's add some lashes. My go-to lashes for years, the ones that I would always keep in my freelance kit, were Ardell's. Ardell Demi Wispies or Ardell Wispies. I recommend those to anyone who wants a really natural-ish yet glam look. Ardell has really upped their game recently. Every time I walk into the drugstore or Sally Beauty Supply, I see new styles. I see faux mink. I see double and triple layers. I see, you know, makeup artist designed. And then I recently found these 100% premium Remy hair lashes. This style 778 just looked so pretty. It looked wispy and more natural than some of the other styles. So what I always do is I take the lash, I apply it to my lid just to see where I need to remove the excess. Grab my finger onto that, then take my scissors. And my favorite lash glue is from Kiss. It is the Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe. In clear, it is formaldehyde free and latex free. So I just run the brush along the strip, wait about 30 seconds, and then apply it to my lids. And I'm going to do this off camera and be right back. All right, lashes are on. It's time to finish up with the lips. I'm using the NYX Lip Pencil in Natural. Followed by this fantastic, comfortable liquid lipstick from Maybelline. It's one of their Superstay inks, I think it's called. And this is the shade Poet. To finish off this look, I am using one of my favorite drugstore lip glosses of all time. It is the Revlon Super Lustrous in Snow Pink. And instead of applying it directly from the wand onto my lips, which usually will pick up whatever color is on my lips and put it back into the tube, which I don't like, I prefer to just take the product and apply it to the back of my hand and kind of turn the wand so it gets a nice big glob out. And then I take my finger and apply it. Look how shiny this makes your lips. And this Snow Pink is just the perfect color. You can wear it over any lipstick. It'll lighten it up just a hair, but not too much where it totally alters the color, and has just a little bit of sheen, a little bit of sparkle to it, so it makes your lips look fuller. It's such a good gloss. It's not sticky, it's affordable. I can't rave about it enough. I really hope you enjoyed watching this full face using my most favorite, most reliable drugstore products. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you are notified when I upload a new video, which is usually 2 to 3 times per week. You can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. Everything is all under the same name, Risa Does Makeup. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.